right, everybody. Welcome to episode number 13, the interview portion, actually, with this wonderful group called The World's Afterparty. Just go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Connor Egan. I play the trombone, and I sing, and yeah.
Hello. My name is Nicholas. My name is Nicholas Wagner, and I hold a saxophone.
And dance.
My name is Luke Buchanan, and I play the trumpet.
My name is Kelvin Ayora, and I play the guitar.
My name is Greg DeAngelis, and I play the trombone.
How dare you?
My name is.
Hey, quiet.
My name is Arif Hassan, and I play keys. My name's Evan Sioni, and I play the drums.
My name is Ian Young, and I played the bass.
All right. Pass it all the way on back to, I guess, the lead singer here. Because, I mean, first of all, I did have communication with you when setting all of this up. When I initially came up to you and Evan over here, I'm going to just point all the attention to him all of the time. When I brought it up the first time, you guys were talking about how, what is it? All right. When we were talking about the set list, you were talking about some songs that you didn't actually include. Like, I was asking, hey, we're going to do a 30 to 40 minutes for a set. And then you say, oh, we don't want to do that. Why is that?
We have some songs that we just don't want to play anymore, I guess. I especially have a horrible memory.
You guys have been in a band for like 50 years and then released an album.
Yeah, that too. It's really hard to plan for 8 people to be able to be in the same place at one time, especially when it's something as like rigorous as recording. Like something like it takes a lot of time, so it's hard to find. Like gigs are one thing, rehearsals only take an hour. Mm-hmm. A recording session can take like 4 hours plus, and it has, especially because the first time for the first EP we recorded, I actually did the recording. Then I tried to do the mixing, but I suck at that, so I gave it to one of my good friends, Jeff Linden, who mixed our first EP.
Yeah,
and Keith Lally, who also did a live recording of the song Revelation and Room 12 in that first EP.
Cool. I know I've pretty much the exclusion of a song or two. That was pretty much it. But with having so many people in the band, I remember I was asking when setting this up, you say, oh, man, the guys are going to be fucking excited that I'm setting something up for once. Why is that? Who usually does like the booking and stuff around here?
Kelvin does a lot of the booking, but we also don't play a lot in general. So the excitement was that we would be actually doing something. Not so much as who was doing it, but the fact that we were actually doing it in the first place.
Can I get a speaking stick?
Speaking stick. All right, yes. Elaborate, please.
Yeah, there's so many times where like we'll be asked to do something, or I'll be setting something up independently, and it'll be like, oh, like, here's a ska band from, like, wherever, like, let's see if we can get ourselves on it, because that's what we kind of do. And I'll be like, hey, guys, like, I got us this great gig, like, who's down? And then Evan, who plays in 17 bands, is like, I'm doing 3 shows, but I got it, we can do it. And then, like, Arif will be like, oh, I have, like, to get haircut, so no. and it'll just fall apart, so it happens. Anytime, like, we're all together, it's like so like it's so weird. Like we had a gig last week, we had a gig yesterday,
last night, yeah,
and we have another gig next week. It like feels like, it's weird.
It's happening.
Like we're a band. This is weird. So
I do actually want to point out, you guys broke a record here at Audio Verve. This is the most we've ever had in the studio before. We were very cramped, and trying to set this up actually took longer than usual, obviously. So I did want to point out, thank you for being so cooperative. I imagine you guys get into a lot of cramped spaces from time to time. Tell me about last night's show. You guys were talking about how it's even smaller than this.
Yes, way smaller.
It's about the size of this room.
Damn.
This little square. And I'll just talk with my teeth in because it's funny. But yeah, no, that is literally, but it's great because there were like maybe 12 people there, and it felt like the place was packed, and it was so hype. Like, I had such a great time, and there was only like 10 people there.
The band's playing.
10 people, including the bands, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I do enjoy the fact that you guys finally released something, because I listened to you a very long time ago, as I'm sure many, like most people around New Brunswick, listened to you for a long time and didn't actually like have too much recordings to listen to afterwards. So tell me about that. Tell me about the release. Tell me about like how the process and why it took so long.
Okay, well, we recorded it, and then I sent it to Jeff. And then we just stopped talking to each other for a little bit. And then I was like, hey, can we get those mixes soon? And he was like, yeah. And then we stopped talking to each other for a little bit because we had to re-record like one little thing or two little things that were just really bad in the recording. And we're like, we want to fix that. Like we like because I recorded it and I never recorded before, the bass just came out muddy, so we had to re-record a lot of the bass. I think we had to re-record some of the guitar too. We added the first guitar parts, and yeah, it just took forever. And then we also needed to, for whatever reason, when I sent it out to get mastered, that also took a really long time.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'll end it there.
Oh, good. So when it comes to, actually, I'm curious about, how you guys got together. I mean, there's a lot of people in the band, and plus, I don't see you guys play. It's a long story.
It's like the Avengers assembling. There's so many.
I do want to point out, though, because it might be unclear, as this episode will come out annoyingly far ahead of time than today. This is supposed to be our Halloween episode. We're filming this on October 29th.
That's why we're dressed up.
So yeah, exactly. We got a Wookiee over here and a superhero.
I'm a spooky Chewie.
We got the sort of a vampire from Supernatural.
I love that show.
I love that show too. It's
seen
amazing.
it in so long. Oh my god.
It's amazing. But yeah, I just I guess give us a good, nice, sweet, juicy, short
I'm
version
pass
of.
this around, but I'll start from the top. All right. So me and a person named Tommy Allen were sitting outside of the dorms freshman year at Rutgers, and we were sitting outside, and I was like, "Hey Tommy, do you want to start a band?" and he was like, "Yeah, what kind of band?" I was like, like a ska band. I cringe now. And so we got Tommy on guitar. We had our friend Liam McGeary on drums. We had Nick on saxophone. We had Greg on trombone, and me on... Actually, Greg was playing trumpet originally. Yeah. And I was on trombone. So then some time passed, and immediately, like before we even had multiple rehearsals, we had one song, 3 out of 3, which was the first one we played.
It's a good one.
And
It's a good one.
Tommy quit, and Liam quit. Like right away. They were like, we actually don't want to do this. So then I was at a party, and I was talking to one of Kelvin's friends about starting a band, his friend John, and Kelvin, John said, I don't want to do it, but my friend Kelvin used to be in a band called Incognito. And he's played
That's
ska
an
guitar
incredible
before.
name. I love that name.
So the first like 5 times me and Kelvin and I met, we were just fucking sorry, excuse my language.
No, curse all you want. I fucking say it all the time.
We were inebriated.
Nice.
As fuck.
That's F.
And we're like, yeah, we need to start a band, and then we didn't for a long time, and then finally I don't even remember what happened after that.
So if I recall correctly, we met like 6 times, and every time I thought your name was Colin.
That's right.
And then
I thought your name was Calvin.
it was yeah, and then I remember you said it to me at a party, but I was like, all right, that's Connor. I remember that party too. I was like, all right, this random kid is just drunk and just saying shit. And then my friend John was like, no, like Connor actually wants to start a band. He asked me to do it, but I hate ska, so you should do it. And I was like, all right, that's valid. Sure, why not? And then I joined, and then we found Duke and Zach.
And Justin Jones on keys.
And just so
saxophone.
You got something to say about that?
so Duke Green and Zach Lorelli, who are both in the band Fourth Wanderers, which is still going. They're great. They're a great band. So they joined on drums and bass for a while, and then our other friend Justin Jones played saxophone and keys. And then we actually played a show. We actually rehearsed enough that we had.
I don't know if we rehearsed.
Well, we had 5 songs and we played them.
And that was our first show.
And that was our first show. It was in Atlantic City.
Cool.
And then Justin, Duke, and Zach all quit afterwards.
A lot of quitting going on.
Yeah,
What
no,
do you
it's
guys
fine.
do to
It's-
these
I think
people?
that's
It's
That
fine.
sounds about right. Yeah.
rotation.
And then I was like, wow, this band's kind of fucked, right? And Connor's like, no, I got this. And I'm like, all right, let's see. And then we found.
Oh, can I tell the
Okay.
story about Evan? Okay, I'm sorry. This is a long intro.
It's fine. It's
But
fine.
anyway, our drummer was an. No, I love Zach, but he never brought his drum set to anything. He would play on pads and shit for rehearsals.
Aw, dude.
And we asked him to bring his drum set for one rehearsal before the gig, and he just didn't do it. So he hits up Evan. He's like, "Hey, can I use your drum set for a gig?" And Evan was like, no, but yes. He like wasn't happy about it, but he let us use it. And me and Evan always spoke, and I'm gonna name drop. My dad was in Streetlight, and he knew my dad was in Streetlight,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, I wanna be in a." You wanted to be in a ska band.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna be like, "Hey, have you guys ever heard of this awesome band called Streetlight Manifesto? You guys should really listen to them."
My dad actually played a couple of shows or one show with us anyway when we opened for the Toasters back in.
Oh, cool.
Back in whenever 2 years ago, I guess. Stop. We were supposed to. Then we're not gonna get into that. That's bad.
That's fine.
Stop.
So Evan joins the Avengers, okay?
Evan and then Ian was actually one of my dad's students. My dad's
Really?
a high school band director.
Oh, cool.
Was a high school band director at North Brunswick when he was in Catch-22 and Streetlight. And so my dad was like, "Hey, if you need my bass player, just quit, or our bass player, just quit." And Ian was allegedly an incredible bass player. So
Allegedly.
we brought him into one rehearsal and he fucking killed it.
That's
So-
awesome. I'm so sorry that I couldn't actually I only heard the recordings, but I mean from where I was standing, I didn't have any headphones in, so I couldn't hear all of the stuff you were doing. But
It was great.
It seemed really
promise
cool.
it was great.
It seemed really cool. I could hear a little bit from where Jeremy was standing. So I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sure it was great. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Ian's actually a jazz trombone player at Rutgers.
Oh, wow.
He's not he is a bass player, but he's majoring in trombone, and he's
Cool.
ridiculous at it.
I remember that was one thing, and we're gonna go into the J House chapter of this right
Oh
now.
my god.
No. When I walk in, I remember. Okay, I was in a band with somebody who took me there for the first time. And he was like, "What is it?" I walk in, and there's instruments everywhere because he started walking through the house because apparently he knew all of you guys. And I walk through, and I'm like seeing all these instruments, and then everybody there could play like 5 of them.
Oh, for Revelations, we used to like switch off instruments and stuff.
That's
we didn't
crazy.
do it today.
Yeah.
But yeah, we most of us are music majors, so
Yeah.
most of us are education majors, so we have to be able to play
And I
more
was seeing
than
that.
one instrument.
It was crazy. I was walking through, and then like the dude I'm talking about is Chris, and then he looks at me. And he says like, "Yeah, everybody here is kind of like this is they all go to Rutgers. They all are majoring in some kind of music shit. So they're gonna know their shit." And I thought that's really cool. And I actually knew some of you separately, and then I realized all of you are in the same band. So,
A lot of us.
yeah. So I thought that's really cool. So tell me about that. Tell me about the J House, what it means to you. I know I
I want Evan to talk about this
Listen,
first.
it's a touchy thing.
Our drummer Evan lived at the J House. So I'm gonna pass the mic.
Talk to me.
I don't even really know what I should say. The J House was a wonderful time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was basically there were like 8 of us total because it was 2 separate apartments,
Mm-hmm.
and we realized we had like this gigantic basement. Pretty much everyone in the house was a music major,
Mm-hmm.
and we started jamming out there, and we realized like start throwing shows. Like, why not? We got the space.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a crazy response. Like, so many people came through. So many people started asking
There's
to
a-
book
yeah.
shows.
It got wild sometimes. Yeah.
No, we had many different types of shows, you know?
It was such an open. It was. I think it was my favorite basement in New Brunswick.
It was
one of my
huge.
favorite basements in general.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little biased, but I loved it.
Yeah. I remember like the first time I went there. I remember the first time I went there. I actually saw you guys play. With oh my god, this is too long ago. I don't remember. This is
There were a
last
lot of
year.
shows.
This is last year, like early in the summer. So I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Was that the show that we tried to bring popsicles to, but they weren't frozen?
Oh,
Maybe I'm not sure.
No, it just you said a whole bunch of stuff, but not into the mic. So I like everyone's saying stuff and no one's talking into the mic. So all right,
Probably wasn't
so,
picked up yet.
Yeah, we played a lot at the J House. I don't know what I mean.
Over the summer, we only played a couple times.
Well, last summer, not like the one that just passed, the summer before that, I wanted us to set up a show, and I remember we had a lot of random bands on it. We had the Hannahs. That was
Oh yeah.
the
You guys
Hannahs.
played with the Hannahs. I think that was the one I saw you
that was
guys
it.
with.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They're awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You guys played. I remember that show ended with the Hannahs like pretty much. I think destroyed their own on the floor and
Yeah,
shit.
that was an awesome gig.
That was a good one.
I think we had the Damn Long Hairs on that too.
Yes, you did. You
We
did.
did.
So
We
this
did.
was definitely.
Going with one song with them.
It was definitely that show. Then I remember. Yes, I do remember the damn long hairs.
And then
Yeah.
I don't remember who else we had on it. It was so long ago.
We had No Void. Was that band?
I
It
don't
was
think
either
so.
Void or that was a different. That was a different
Different
thing.
show. Yeah.
Whatever.
Different thing. Yeah.
But yeah, we played a lot at J House. And they were so cool about like letting people book there and rehearsing there. And I remember like I threw my first show at the J House in like December of last year, and I just wanted like a big benefit show because I like whatever. And this was the first show I booked by myself, and it was like it was us, it was Danny May, it
nice.
was Steve, Rest Ashore, and I feel like there was.
World's Afterparty.
And we were on it, right? No.
yeah. Shout out to Danny May. Listen, I'm not gonna stop until I have at least like one member of Teenage Halloween on here progressively.
All of their side projects.
Progressive. Yeah, I know. That's my point.
Yeah, but it was this huge thing, and I was not expecting that many people to show up because this was during finals week. This was like
shit, yeah.
late December. We had like I counted over $500 of money that we made that night, which means like at least 100 fucking people were there.
That's crazy.
And that was the first show I booked, and I was fucking bugging out. Yeah, it was
That
wild.
must be a good feeling.
Yeah, it was a great feeling. I was a hot mess, anxiety wise, but afterwards I was like, shit.
Everybody's a hot mess at the J House. It's a basement. It's
Yeah.
just like you're sweating. It could be like 0 degrees outside.
Yeah, that
It's
was
still
definitely my
fucking-
favorite. I miss it.
Those are some good days.
Yeah.
I'm glad that there's a place that can mean that much to you guys, especially you considering yourselves kind of a New Brunswick band, right?
Yeah,
say,
and I
yeah.
mean, like everybody who lived at the J House still hangs out with each other. We like all live in the same like block or two from each other. Like, exactly. Like Evan and Connor.
And Greg,
They all
with
live
each other.
a block away from me, and then I live with somebody who lived at the J House, and then a block away from them, like the other half of the people live in the J. It's like literally we all live in the same neighborhood, and hang out with each other. And like my next door neighbors have a band with Evan, so Evan is always like around and like.
I do like the camaraderie because I remember again I've been to the J House maybe twice before it wasn't a thing anymore, and like I remember walking through and I remember when I met you because I thought you were in one of the bands and you probably were, but I'm like you were taking money.
Johnny Cola that night.
You were okay, so then you were in a band, and then like you were taking the money, and I was trying to look for you because I had to fucking pay, and I didn't yet. And I'm like, "Where's the fucking scrawny kid?" I remember I saw I remember, and I'm so but it's just so funny because it seemed like you actually lived there, and
Everyone thought I
I got that all the time. People would message me like, "Oh, can I pick at your house?" And I'm like, "No," because I don't live there.
oh, that's funny.
I made some people really mad by saying I didn't live there. They're like, but can you perform me? I'm like, I don't. I'm done.
Yeah, no, that's a common thing. I book shows at a lot of different houses, and it's so common. People are like, "Let me book your house," and it's like, "That's not my house." People are nice enough that they let me book at their house, but I'm not gonna vouch for you because I don't really know you. No offense. So
I am under the impression that, I mean, like you guys have said, you're limited on the amount of shows that you can do or have done because of scheduling and everything. Is it all your fault? I'm sorry. So I'm just curious, have you guys ever done anything like Audio Verve before?
no.
So if this is your first experience, tell me, please. I'd love some feedback. How was it? How did you guys? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Let's start with Ree if you haven't said anything.
Besides your name.
That's true. I thought it was pretty cool. You know, actually, it was really cool
up?
for like the first time in like ever. I think I could actually hear myself.
You hear yourself. That's right. I remember the show I saw you guys at. You were next to the speaker, and it was still hard to hear.
Still couldn't hear myself. That's always a problem at gigs. It's like, you know, your keys, you're going straight in. You're like one of the only instruments that doesn't have direct feedback. So that was really cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I like
loved it.
that. I like
So,
that.
Show.
Evan's turn.
What do I say?
You loved it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was nice. You know, had great sound.
Yeah,
I like how the drums were in like
All the
one
way in the
little
back.
corner.
I just want to talk about, like, before we started, Evan over here kept talking about, oh yeah, don't, please don't. I'd rather not be in the shot. No, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be seen.
Yeah, there's a reason I play drums.
You got your wish, man. It was so hard to get behind. Because you got a line of 5 people straight in the front, then you got the bass on the side, and then the keys on the other side. And it's so hard to get, like, everybody in their
The
shot.
great part is whenever we play a gig, even if a crowd's not even there, even if the crowd's not even there, I don't even notice because there's a line of people.
Yeah, there's a line, yeah.
I'm just playing, you know, it's whatever.
Confidence booster right there, man. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool.
It's always a crowd when you're playing because you have to look at us.
Well, like
Ian's our gem.
like a reef, I can never hear myself either. So it was pretty awesome being able to hear myself through the headphones.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was fantastic studio, and so far it's fantastic.
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear how it comes out.
It's gonna be, yes. Jeremy is a magician with all this complicated shit I don't know how to do. So I'm very glad that yes, you guys came into here, into the studio today.
Oh, great. You go.
No, I don't think I can add anything that anyone else didn't say already. It was a really cool experience. I like having all of us like lined up and cramped like that. I think that's
Very intimate.
It really
like I
was.
said, there's just a wall of people. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Just to have like a wall of people, like the energy is just
Oh,
like
dude! If
all
I had
there.
more freedom during your solo, I would have just like up to your face. Just fucking,
No,
I did
yeah.
that to Connor all the time. And fucking looking at the camera and everything was amazing. I love that shit.
Yeah, I don't think I can add anything else. Super awesome job. I could hear everything through the headphones, and
Good, I'm
you guys
glad.
were like kind enough to get us water and everything. That was crazy. That doesn't happen.
Hey,
so, like,
we're hospital. You drove all the way over here, so a little bit of hospitality is what we do.
Yes.
Agreed. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right.
It's just awesome because like anytime we go to a show and people are like, "You have 4 horns," and then they kind of like shit their pants. And they're just like,
We always
and
have
they're
shit.
like, "Yeah, we have like 1.5 mics for you guys." And it's just like, okay, great. And so it's awesome having someone who's prepared. and
Yeah.
having someone who actually isn't just like, "Oh, horns don't matter," whatever. And
No,
just,
of
like,
course, yeah. Well, listen, Jeremy is a gigantic fan of Streetlight Manifesto, and I know he was excited to have you guys in. I was excited to have you guys in. The first time I saw you, it was a fucking mind blowing. I love the music, and holy shit, I swear, like 3 of those songs are gonna be stuck in my head for like the next month now. Just constantly, you heard me. I was fucking singing along, dancing along. So, yeah, I'm not gonna. It was great.
Just end it. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Cool. And I did want to talk about just like how cramped the space is and everything. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves. I like the showmanship. Obviously, nothing is lost when you have Connor making faces like that. It's amazing. I'm inches away from there, and like his passionate singing is amazing. I can't. Like from a filming perspective, I mean, I just like it when people jump around and everything, especially with the what the fuck was going on your guitar, just playing all this insane shit towards the last few songs was amazing. You jumping up and yelling out, the Planet U was here like a few weeks ago, And like every third time, anytime there was a stop, it's like ah. It goes yeah. No, it was all of them. Fuck all of them. They were, and they fucking.
We love the Planet U.
The Planet, yeah. Go listen to the Planet U. Shameless plug. I love plugging local bands. I mean, that's what I'm here to do. Seriously. And I'm glad. Yes, thank you for jumping around. I'm glad you took advantage. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Trust me. We enjoy it from our perspective. So I'm curious as to what you guys would say to any kind of new audience that you got from seeing this. Like they've never heard of you before. The World's Afterparty. Who the fuck is that? They click on it, and they're like, "Whoa, this is amazing."
We're not a ska band.
Don't call us ska.
We have one ska song. That's about it. 3 out of 3.
Oh, I guess.
And then none of the other one. I mean, Room 12 kind of, but like, it's not really ska. But we'll call it ska because we don't really care. Here. No.
So, I mean, at least me, myself, but probably most of us, I don't really listen to ska music. I like Streetlight Manifesto and Bomb the Music Industry are the only ska bands I listen to, and those are arguably not ska. So, I think the same goes for all of us.
Yeah.
But, you know, I feel like if you have horns, you're a ska band.
Oh yeah. I mean, adding keys and adding the kind of guitar that you were playing and adding the kind of different stuff that you guys add into a song, especially like a 7-minute long one, is interesting as to what you guys do. You even had a fucking drum solo, so I mean that was pretty great. There's a drum solo, so
there's a lot of different influences.
Yeah.
Start that all over again.
There's a lot of different influences going on here. So like we're all, or at least 5 of us are jazz majors.
Shit,
and
wow.
We're also music. So
I can hear that actually.
3 of us play in the symphonic winds ensembles and like all the classical stuff, and we do that in Latin influence and everything.
Impressive.
And there's just a lot of random stuff coming together to
I hear
form
that.
like at times it's like the really jazzy songs.
Yeah.
Like Revelations, which was based off of Little Sunflower. Which is just right?
Is that what you based off? I don't think so. I thought you
I
said
think
you
you did say that.
Oh.
Yeah. You can go
Everybody
fuck
on you,
yourself.
man.
But,
Pressure.
A lot dumber that year.
But then,
I didn't do the same thing at all.
but then, like we have, and there's a song on our EP, "To Be Heard," which ends with like a Bach chorale, which is like, and it's it's cool. It's cool having all these different influences coming.
Yeah,
together
no, I can actually
to
hear that
make
because like,
not ska.
yeah, I do. I actually, because I did mistake it for that a few times, just because I only heard the few songs you guys did have up for, and it was it was the first song you guys played, and I listened to that a lot. I love that fucking song.
We don't care at all if anyone thinks we're a ska band. Call us like whatever the fuck you want. We don't
It's
give
all
a
good,
shit.
man. So. We'll try to wrap up here. I'm going to give you guys just a couple more questions, actually, just the last 2. So first of all, I do want to know, now that you have done this, now that you are, Audio Verve alumni, now that you know the experience, and and obviously you watch all of the episodes religiously.
I did see Danny May.
Danny May is a good one. So you know how this goes, and you know how it is. Tell me. What kind of band, or not what kind of band, what band have you come across that you know or that you're a fan of that you think would be like a perfect fit in this kind of thing? Who can give a live studio performance with flying colors?
Steve. 100% Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, Rest Ashore.
Rest Ashore.
Rest Ashore is fun. All of Evan's bands.
All of Evan's bands.
So that'd be Lawn Chairs, Jeff Lennon and the Black Spot Society, Killer Shrimp, Johnny Cola. I feel
Professor
like I'm
Caveman?
Professor Caveman. Oh, Professor Caveman's fun. You definitely want Professor Caveman.
But only if Evan's playing.
only if Evan's playing, yeah.
No, Shannon's great. No, Shannon's good too. So all of those are cool. Ghost Camp's fun.
Ghost Camp is good.
Ghost Camp's a lot of fun. El Americano, they're fun. Basement Beers, but I hear they're breaking up or they're like going on hiatus or something, so that's sad. Teenage Halloween, because you said them earlier.
Oh yeah. We're saving them, but like just in the back pocket, because for some reason it just never lines up where they actually end up
yes.
here. We've even had members of theirs come on here before, so it's pretty fun. We had Danny May, we had you,
Now
we
it's
had
my interview.
Who else? I think you two are the only ones. But it's so yeah, that's right. I kind of confuse it because I'm like personal friends with a good amount of them.
Yeah.
So but anyway, yes. Anybody have any other suggestions? When we have this many people here, I'm assuming there's a band that comes to mind. I'd like suggestions.
What's Kioski's band?
Hong Kong graffiti. Conundrum is so ridiculous.
Yeah, usually I like to ask this kind of question just because I do. This entire thing, everything that we do here, and the amount of fucking work that Jeremy and I put into this is for local bands. I mean, I want to spread the word.
We appreciate it so much.
Yeah, and you guys are definitely one like a big strong one from New Brunswick. I mean, definitely have a lot of different influences of bands that have passed through New Brunswick. So I'm very glad that you guys are here. And with that, I would like to wrap up and talk about plugging all of your stuff. Where can people, listen to your music? Where can people get your stickers?
On Bandcamp. We have shirts at shows, and we have CDs at shows. Mm-hmm. And
you have CDs?
Yeah. Oh, they're not real CDs. Like, I burned our Bandcamp onto CDs and put them in CD holders and drew on them. So we have CDs.
Good enough for me. That's perfect.
They're free or a donation, but like we just want to spread our music around, and that's what it's all about. So yeah.
I left my wallet in
that's
there.
All that matters. Yeah. We don't have CDs right. I was
gonna throw money at you. I don't give a shit. Shut up and take my money.
We got a Facebook.
We have a Facebook, Instagram.
We had a Tinder for.
We had it. I made a band Tinder.
I could start a band grinder. I don't know how that worked, but
a band grinder. Yeah, I'm all good for that. Yeah.
No one wanted to listen. No one cared about the music. It didn't. It wasn't what I thought it would be. Don't.
You tried. You tried so hard.
Yeah. I don't know why you handed me the mic, but yeah, there's a lot. There you go. Well, we already plugged all of Evan's bands.
Just gotta make sure.
Greg plays at the Garnsdale Ale House like every other day, right?
Greg just got a sousaphone, so anyone that needs a sousaphone for a parade gig, he can do jazz sousaphone, bebop. He actually has a recording on his Instagram of him playing a bebop sousaphone, which is pretty fucking cool. Bluesophone.
Awesome. I do have one. Oh, are you gonna say something?
You can also hear me from 4 to 6 on 90.3 The Core. My radio show, Kelvin and Liz versus the World. I make up half the show.
Holy shit, that's right. Yeah. I've actually listened to that before.
It's funny because I at this point I've had 2 or 3 people like message me on Tinder and be like,
hilarious.
I've heard you on the radio, and I'm like, that's weird.
Son of a bitch.
Like people actually listen.
I listen. I actually listened to that before. I'm like, oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Alana, even though she's not here, I can hear her voice in the back of my head just screaming, ask this question, because she's always so judgmental of my interviewing skills. I do want to ask real quick, because I've forgotten we're at the end of our time. Where did the name come from? I'm curious. Where did the name come from?
Not like the beginning.
No, I don't want to start from the. We started as One Night Band.
It's the greatest band name in the world.
But then we looked it up, and it was already another ska band.
Well, I had a list. I had a list of band names.
And then that wasn't from that list, though. That was.
No, it wasn't.
One Night Band.
Was it?
100% it was.
Okay. Then we went to No Label. Which everyone hated, except for me, evidently, and no one said anything. Until after we changed the name, everyone was like, "That name was fucking stupid." I was like, "Oh."
We're dating now.
After One Night Band, we went to We're Dating Now because the pun was funny, and then No Label, and then after our first show as No Label, everyone was like, "That's a fucking stupid name." Our friend Tennessee Westmoreland, that's his real name is Tennessee.
It's a badass name.
He's an acting major at Rutgers, and he said, "Hey, I'm not musically talented at all, but if I were to if I had a band name, I've always wanted to call a band the World's Afterparty." And as soon as he said that, I was like, "Holy fucking shit! That's our name. That's our name."
And we were drunk at my dorm room after our first show, and having an after party. And then that's when I heard the
World's After Party.
It's like,
It's a good fucking. It really does. Like
It makes for good art.
The aesthetic.
The skeleton thing's pretty cool.
It's pretty fucking badass. Like that's definitely what stuck in my head when remembering you guys.
The pun is ska is dead, so we're skeletons.
Yeah.
I never knew
I thought of that the other day. I thought of that the other day, and then Evan was like, "Holy shit!" And it's something that I literally just thought of the other day, and now I just let everyone else know. I guess I just left the pun to myself and didn't share it.
Was that the secret?
No, the secret was the shirts. So there was a band group chat, and during one of the band things, Evan knew my secret, which is we were getting shirts, but I didn't want to tell anyone because at a rehearsal we were just gonna take our clothes off and the shirts were gonna be underneath. But I suck at keeping secrets, so during the rehearsal I was like, "Hey, can I tell everyone the secret?" And Evan was like, "You have to now," and then everyone was very mad at me for not telling it, and then I changed the group chat. I forget what it was before.
It was we all had
the reason why the scene is dying.
No,
the reason why the scene is dying.
we were the reason why the scene was dying, and then it went to Connor's secret, and then I changed the group chat to we have shirts, but then Kelvin was like, "Really?" And then I changed the name to not. And then I sent a picture of the shirts, and that's it.
Oh my god.
That's the end. The World's After Party in
I
a
do
long nutshell.
I do really, really love that name. It's a fantastic name, and it's definitely one that made me come back to you guys. Like, it definitely stuck in my head. What's up?
The super hip skeleton artwork is done by the lovely Rachel Harding.
Oh, good.
Who's dating this one. And it's pretty great.
Well, good. The art and everything is definitely the aesthetic of everything is really awesome and stands out. And I loved having you guys here. I mean,
we loved being here. It was so fun.
This was amazing. This was definitely a first for us. Just the first. Yeah, we never had any band with any kind of brass. We didn't have a band with this many fucking people. Jeez.
Yeah,
and we
get
didn't
that a lot.
have this much of a challenge filming someone. Yo, we were scrambling for microphones and everything. It was like, oh shit, do we have enough microphones? Do we have enough lighting? Do we have this kid? This kid was fucking in the dark zone, so we couldn't see him. But this was fantastic. I loved having you guys here. My name is Rachel, and this has been episode 13 interview with the World's After Party. Say bye, you guys.
Bye.
All right, thank you. That's it. That's a wrap.